Hello everyone. We are going to talk about quadratic equation, sum and product of the roots. So first, what is a quadratic equation? So quadratic equation is an equation of the second degree, meaning it contains at least one term that is squared. And the standard form of a quadratic equation is given by this: ax squared plus bx plus c, which is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are constants or numerical coefficients, and x is an unknown variable. So let's move on to sum and product of roots. Since when you are given this kind of equation, which is quadratic equation, you can find the roots of this equation through this formula. So we know this formula since elementary. And the roots are given by x sub 2 and x sub 1. Since it is quadratic equation, we can get, or it has, two roots. So now, the formula to find the sum of roots is given by this formula, and the product of roots is given by this formula. So b is the second term in the quadratic equation, and a is the first term of the quadratic equation, and c is the last term or the third term in the quadratic equation, and a is the first term. So we can understand it further when we have an example. So for example number 1, x squared plus 4x plus 7 is equal to 0. So we can write the numerical coefficients of the variables a, b, and c, which represents the first, second, and the third term of a quadratic equation. So the value of a is 1, and the value of b is 4, and the value of c is 7. To get the sum of roots, simply plug in the values that is needed. In this case, to find the sum of roots, we're going to plug in the value of b, which is 4, and the value of a, which is 1. So the sum of roots is equal to -4. For the product of roots, again, simply plug in the values. The value of 7, or the value of c is equal to 7. So product of roots is equal to 7 over 1, which is simply 7. Example number 2, x squared plus 10x plus 17 is equal to 0. So again, write the corresponding values. Then plug in the values in the given or in the formula to find the sum of roots. It is equal to -10 over 1, which is equal to -10. And for the product of roots, simply plug in the values. It is equal to 17 over 1, or simply 17. For the third example, 3x squared plus 15x plus 25. Again, write the corresponding values. To find the sum of roots, simply plug in the values. -15 over 3, which is equal to -5. And for the product of roots, simply plug in the values. It is equal to 25 over 3. For example number 4, x squared plus kx plus 32 is equal to 0. Therefore, a is equal to 1, b is equal to k, and c is equal to 32. Determine the value of k given that one root is twice the other. So in this problem, we have given a condition. So we let x sub 1 be equal to r sub 1, which is the other, or the first, let's say the first root, and the second root, which is x sub 2, is equal to 2r sub 1, because based from the problem, one root is twice the other. So it doesn't matter if it is x1 or x sub 2, as long as the other root is twice the other. So it depends to you how you solve it. But we are going to use these x sub 1 and x sub 2 and x sub 2 be the one root that is twice the other, which is x sub 1. So, based from the formula for to find sum of roots, we can substitute these values. R sub 1 plus 2r sub 1, which is x sub 2, is equal to negative k over 1. So, simplifying, 3r sub 1 is equal to negative k, which is our equation 1. Because we have two unknown variables, we cannot solve for k or r sub 1. So we have to move on to the product of roots, which is given by this formula. X sub 1 times x sub 2, which is also equal to r sub 1 times 2r sub 1, which is equal to c over a, which is equal to 32 over 1, or 32. Simplifying, 2r squared sub 1 is equal to 32. Dividing both sides by 2, since we have only one variable here, we can solve for r. So it is the square root of half of 32, which is 16. Therefore, r sub 1 is equal to 4 and r sub 2 is equal to negative 4. So in equation 1, we have this equation, 3r sub 1 is equal to negative k. If r sub 1 is equal to 4, therefore, we can find k, which is equal to negative 12. And if r sub 1 is equal to negative 4, therefore, k is equal to 12. So it doesn't matter if it is negative or positive, because by checking, we can find that if k is equal to negative 12, therefore the equation is x squared minus 12x plus 32 is equal to 0. The roots are 4 and 8. And if k is 12, therefore the equation is x squared plus 12x plus 32, which is equal to 0. And the roots are negative 4 and negative 8. So it's a matter of the sign that it varies. But based from the numerical coefficient, it is 12. So that's it for this topic, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the upcoming more videos. Thank you.